Or, hello, we're here today. Already time, I do declare, for One Piece chapter reaction stream. Dang, we already in there. Got here early. Ish. As early as I could. Just got out of work, you know. But I wasn't expecting us to have a chapter today. You know, sometimes it's on Thursday, sometimes it's on Fridays. Sometimes it's late on Fridays, you know. You never know. You never know. But it looks like we got one, which is good. Which means I can do other things tomorrow. Well, that's good. And I haven't gotten spoiled yet on nothing. I hope that Rox is in it, because boy howdy, I put him in the thumbnail, I do declare. So we're gonna gosh darn hope that your boy Roxy is in the chapter. It'd be very weird if he wasn't. I'm hungry though. I gotta fill myself a little bit. Holy crap, that lettuce was harder than I thought it was. I almost died there. Should have chewed a little bit more on that. Hydrate. Make sure y'all are hydrating during these hot summers, I do declare. Because it do be hot. Ah, why you acting aloof, right? Why did you... Now. I swear, F11 is just goes crazy. Sometimes it just goes sicko mode. The F11s. Like hiding taskbars in F11 and stuff, it just makes people just go cuckoo bananas insane sometimes. And it's like, my dude, just Can you just be hidden, but like not be like a nuisance? Not make it be a nuisance? Comment section got nuked. Oh no. Because we don't use TCB. We don't use TCB. Well, we use the translation, but we don't use the website. Wait, y'all go up, up, up. I got a new camera angle, so now we can say the party's a little better. Up. Oh, look at the parties. Can you get up? Sonny, there you go. Sonny, girl. Good girl. There you go. We got the potion here. I like that. I like that. You know, I can't really be showing the cube right now. That's what I'm figuring out, too, though. See, I can screw around because I'm not in a hurry. Because it's the afternoon. I got my cube. Cube's looking good from this angle. But the problem is, I don't really have a place to put it. In shot. At the moment. My setup ain't perfect right now. It ain't perfect. But it'll have to do. Ooh, this looks good on this angle. I don't know why, but it's probably because of the light. But I can't just like set it right here and it not. Well, that's cutting it close. That's cutting it close though, Honcho. But you can't even see it, though. But I know where it is. Who are we gonna throw on here? I don't think any of these fellas are gonna be in the actual chapter. I can't think of any of the straw hats that would be in this chapter. Definitely not in this chapter or even alluding to. We'll just throw it on Luffy. Yasop's in the chapter. Oh boy. Yasop showed up in this chapter. Wouldn't that be just nutso? It would. It would. Be absolutely crazy. But last week we got some more Harald and Loki stuff. Harald's goofing around the world, you know, trying to find, you know, allies and stuff. You know, there's a bit of a scarcity. There was a bit of a famine going on, and then people came and helped him, you know, politics and One Piece. Foreign aid. And they'll be like, oh, I'm sure we'll have to come to their aid another time. And I'm sure that's how that's going to go. And then we got more Loki stuff. He's a big bully, but he's still so sad. And as we know, if bullies are sad, then that means that the bullying they do is A-okay, you know? That means you have to completely 100% sympathize with the bullies. Whenever they're also sad, they have family issues. When the bully has parent issues, it's okay for them to bully other kids. We all know this. We all know this to be true. That's why we love Loki. And then, your boy, after that, started walking up. Mr. Rox D. Zebek just showed up. He's like, hey, I'm looking for Harald. And it's like, okay, now we see Rox. And he killed an admiral. And the Agenda people be going crazy for that. And then we found out he's Blackbeard's daddy. Which I still think that they could have not told us that. And we could have just inferred that by how he looked. And that reveal could have came along later. But it is what it is. I didn't think they needed that nameplate at the very end, but it's fine. It's fine. Oh my goodness. My colorblind butt makes such a difference when I take these off. But we're going to go ahead and start up. We're going to go ahead and start things up. We're going to go ahead and rev the engines up, I do declare. Get to this next thing. See if Mr. Rocks, Mr. Rocks of the Rocks Pirates, of the future Rocks Pirates, if he does some cool stuff. I'm sure he's gonna yap to Loki, and Loki's gonna be like, oh, he's so cool. And then he's going to be like, let me join your crew. And he's going to be like, no. And he's going to stab him. And it's going to be funny. Are we going to see Lola in this chapter? I don't know. It sounds like we got some rock stuff to deal with first before we see Loki grow up some more. So it might be a couple more chapters. Might be a chapter or two until we see some Lola stuff. But we better see some Lola stuff, I do declare. We better see it. Yeah. You know, we got to figure out why. We got to figure out if Rox was actually like a king and that's why he was at the Reverie, or if he was just at the Reverie for another reason, too. Because people were like, oh, he was a king. That's why he was at the Reverie and killed a guy there. Which could be the Trace. I don't know yet, though. And then there's also Harald's friend who got him in. I don't know if that person's actually important or not. He might not be important. He might just be like, oh, I got a friend who goes there. It's just like inferred because he had all those other allies give him food. So it's like, yeah, I had a friend who got me in. Whoever it is, it doesn't matter. He doesn't have to be an important character. What else? There's the Galley Law guys. I don't think we're going to hear... We might... I don't know if they're going to be alluded to for the rest of the flashback. We might not hear about them for another while. If at all. Or it might just be inferred. They're like, I don't think there's going to be like, oh, it's those guys. But also remember, Loki is telling all this to Hyruden in like the span of 3 minutes. All of this. He's like, how does he know about these things that Jarl and Harald are doing on their own? We don't know. That's why it's just like, oh, is this a flashback or is this a retelling of a story? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. All right, though. But we're here. I haven't spoiled it all. I don't know. I have no idea what this chapter's about, which is great. I don't even know the name of it yet. But we're going to get to it now. Starting now. Chapter 1155. Golly, it's crazy. It's been 55 chapters since the Kuma flashback, which I did not I did not record a reaction to, but ooh, I might should have because I was getting a little teary-eyed. That was a very good episode of One Piece. Very good episode of One Piece. And I have a countdown for a video that I am in the middle of making because boy howdy, I recorded it, and guess what? It's gonna be long, and guess what? It's gonna have a lot of edits to it. So I have, in my estimation, 3 weeks to make this. So we'll see when I get it, but I'm giving myself at least 3 weeks. But whatever. Chapter 1155. We first start off with this Shonen Jump thing, which I love. I love getting new cutouts of Luffy for me to put on my thumbnails. Another thumbnail Luffy, epic, love that. And it's him with all of his gears, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I love Gear 2. Gear 2nd is so cool. Gear 4th is also all right. I know people were big. I wasn't like there when Gear 4th came out, so I'm not like a huge like Gear 4 guy. Snake Man though. Snake Man. I like me some Snake Man, but yeah. And Gear 5 is pretty cool. This is just a really cool font too. Look at all this. And 28. Golly. One Piece is 28 years old. That's so crazy. It is 1997. So yeah, in 2 years, it'll be 30. It will be 30 in 2 years. It's too much, too crazy. Do I know anything else that's in Shonen right now? I do not. Since I don't read weekly Shonen. I don't read anything that's weekly right now. At all. I should get back into JoJo. I want to actually read Dan to Dan. Maybe. I got a little bit into Dan to Dan. It'd be cool to catch up with that. One Punch Man, I don't even know what's going on with One Punch Man. If it's still going or what. If it is weekly, if it's monthly or what. But I haven't read a chapter of One Punch in a very long time. I'm yapping. I'm not even going to read the Oda notes because this looks weird. Oh, we got a spread as well? Oh, boy. This is already a great chapter. This is like really high quality too. So we got Luffy eating meat with Usopp. Bro, I got 2 thumbnail Luffys. Epic. With a bunch of little pigeons from the rescuers. Nami is in Jinbei's arm. Oh no. While Sanji is like, no, come to me instead. But Nami looks like she is not going to do that. But it looks like it's because she's afraid, not because she doesn't want to be near Sanji. Cope! Brook's there looking cool with a cap. Zoro's smiling, which he doesn't do often. We got Robin and Chopper. Chopper doesn't, yeah, remember Chopper doesn't care about bridges. About like, he's good at going through that. We learned that at the beginning of Elbaf. Because he was going on the tightropes back in the day. And then, yeah, where are they? They're just like in some like big European street of sorts. Like not in Venice, but I don't know. But then there's a thing of Gear 5 Luffy in the back. Does that say Sun? Wanted. Stupid. I'm stupid. I love this. I love looking at this. This is a good one. Not as good as the Frankie one from last year, but this is a good one too. Chapter 1155. The Rocks Pot. Ooh! Oh boy! You don't just name your chapter "The Rocks Pirates" like just like that, all willy nilly and whatnot. All right. Rock's the legendary pirate came to Elbaf, but why? Also, I have a voice this week, which is good, because I sure as heck didn't last week. This is Elbaf, but Pops ain't here. He's on a voyage. Ugh. Oh, he's not looking too good. You're all puny humans. This is the first I've ever seen one moving around for real. How cute. Hang on, did you just say Pops? You're Harald's kid? Who said that? Rocks, I think. Ooh, Whitebeard is so much bigger than Cheeky. I'm guessing he can still be reached even if he's away, right? What's your name? Loki. All right, Loki. Just do what I tell ya. Head on home and get someone to send urgent word to your pops. Tell him to say, Loki's been seriously hurt. You've got to return to Elbaf at once. Watch your mouth! Do I look like I take orders from a human? Dang. Loki's angry. They're probably around the same age. Well, no, they're not the same age, but... he can still be reached even if he's away. Yes. You seriously expect my father to drop everything just because I'm hurt? Yeah, right. Besides, someone as weak-looking as you has no right to boss me around. He's going for the punch. Oh, Mr. Rocks is doing some... Oh, no! He's got a sword with hockey! Mayok! Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh, no! Rocks' swordsmanship was renowned for its brutal impact, akin to a giant hammer or cannon fire. It was said to blow everything in the surrounding vicinity away. Now, if he says room right after this, that'll be crazy. I think it's just hockey. I think he's just that guy. I like the theory that he's got the chop fruit. I want either Puggy to awaken his fruit or to see someone with his awakened fruit eventually. I think that'd be so cool. I feel like it has a lot of potential, but I don't know if Oda's ever going to do it. But Rocks is about to bully this child very badly. He gives him a big schmack, and goes, yarg! Remember, this is Loki. Loki who just, like, fell off a cliff. Who's, like, doing Kaido feats as a baby. He's doing Kaido feats as a baby. So, you know, he... Literally, the last chapter was him saying, I can't even die. So, you know, take that in mind, you know, so... Any damage done to Loki is a big deal. This is the first time he's ever probably, like, felt pain. Well, that's not true, but maybe. I don't know. He has, like, bruises and stuff, but I don't know how much he feels pain, but he's going, ah. You know? Doesn't look like a super bad thing, but he's like, vo ha ha ha. Oh no. Oh, that's his laugh. We'll have to wait for Viz on that. Vo ha ha. There we have it. Loki's been seriously hurt. Smart. That's smart. I guess so. I guess that makes sense. Now we can say that. Harald's path crossed with this madman once before. It happened during the reverie that year. Oh boy, I see a little bit of an emo down there too. Someone attacked and kidnapped 5 of the kings. Unbelievable. That big man in black has to be the culprit. That big man in black has to be the culprit. Surely they're talking about rocks and not emo. There's a big man in black right there. But it could be a lady too. Where is he? Oh, he's right there. He's just blending in. He's blending in. He's blending in. Oh, there's a puppy. The lives of those sovereigns cannot be used to extort Moo. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. What are we looking at? What are we looking at? What are we looking at here? What are we looking at here? No kidding. But it threw the Holy Land into total chaos, didn't it? This incident would be the first and last of its kind. Intruder made it all the way to the flower room, hidden deep within the Holy Land. And that looks like Gunko. That looks a little like Gunko. A little bit. Don't know if it is. But that's interesting. That we're seeing one of the helpers, which, like, people were saying, like, people have been talking about, like, the helpers of Emu because they've shown up, like, once or twice, but haven't been, like, actually important. But being like, okay, nope. That one looks a lot like Gunko. Is that Gunko? Is that Gunko's Madre? Grand Madre? Or is it just Gunko? And Gunko is just very old. Because somehow Gunko knows Brook. And that's weird. And that's weird. Yes, but someone kidnapped 5 of the kings, throwing the Holy Land into chaos during the reverie. And then he is talking to Emu. And Intruder made it to the flower room, hidden deep within the Holy Land. The man claimed to be a Davy Jonesian pirate. What? 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 Bro, are we back to? Oh, I wish I had it off the top of my head. I almost said it. Something bringers, and somethings. But the original idea from Wanted, how there's like, what is it? What are they? They're not Rogerians. It's off the top of my head. It's not peacemakers, and I gotta look it up. Is it Morganeers and Peacemains? I just remembered before it said that. Peacemains and Morganeers. I remembered. Peacemains and Morganeers, Buccaneers, and now Davy Jonesians. Are there? I was about to say they're Morgan. I'm pretty sure there's 2 Morgans. There's a couple of Morgans, I'm pretty sure, in One Piece at this point. There's Morgan and there's Morgan. Morgan and Morgans. There's Big News Morgans. And there's also a Morgan. But I forget. I've already forgotten. I'm going crazy. This man claimed to be a Davy Jonesian pirate. He knew there was nothing more he could do in that moment. So he withdrew with these words. So he's just chilling. He just wanted to, like, talk to Emu for, like, a second then. Okay then. And, oh, Emu's looking ominous again. We're almost getting, like, a little bit of that veil a little bit on the side. I feel like we haven't caught that a little bit. Just wait. One day, I'll be back. Bro. Blackbeard's the final enemy. Blackbeard's the final enemy. This guy. I'm so excited. Blackbeard's the final enemy. Emu's not the final enemy. Blackbeard's the final enemy. Like that. This panel right here it has stapled that into my head. I know that's been like a debate on like who's the final boss is gonna be. It's gonna be Blackbeard. Thank goodness. Thank goodness too. Holy moly. I don't know if he actually. I don't know. I mean, Emu looks like Emu. I don't know if he looks actually like or not. But those are the JoJo menacing little kanji things. So he came in there. And then he was like, I'm throwing in the chaos. And then all he said was just wait one day. I'll be back. Now, does that mean like, oh, he has some weird power to where he actually is Blackbeard? And they're the same person or something? Or is it just an ominous little thing? I don't know. I'm already like, ooh, this is good. This is good. This is good. I like this. I like this so far. Naturally, this instant would never be brought to light. Ironically, on that very day, there was another intruder in the Holy Land. Is he talking about Harald or something else? Look, it's so much bigger than a normal giant. It wasn't... I want it as a slave. No, we should kill it and have it stuffed. Gods, protect the nobles. Those are some extra ugly Celestials, too. Holy moly. 10 Ryubitos. Hut, 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 hut. I'm sorry, the negotiations went south. I forget what voice I'd been doing for Harald. And I know trespassing is a crime, but isn't all this going a bit too far? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. How did they get him completely on fire? That's no bueno. Don't let the kidnapper get away! That wasn't me, I swear! An admiral was murdered. The culprit ran towards the castle. Proceed with caution. And they're about to bump heads. It's just one thing after the other. Seize that biggin. That must be the guy who kidnapped the kings. How dare he use me as a scapegoat? I'll show him. Bro, a Harald and Rox clash? Is that why he's going back? Because he wants to clash with them again? Is that why? A giant in the Holy Land? Don't your kind lurk in the boonies? Ooh! This is after he killed an admiral too. This is afterwards. Bro, this is good stuff. This is a fun chapter. Maybe I'm just in a good mood. I don't know though. But I mean, this is the first like feat from Harald too. He hasn't had a lot of feats technically. We've just been kind of told like he's big and strong, but he's kind of been busy on like doing like character and like political stuff, but we haven't like seen like any like hard fights with him just yet. Technically. And we still gotta see him side with the world government at some point, like officially. And he's gotta like do something with Summers as well, because Summers knows who Harald is. And cares about visiting his grave. Shamrock cares about visiting his grave? I don't know. Also, where's the Holy Knights in this situation? Where are they at? I don't know. This is so they're clashing. There's some hockey flaring up. Is that a black blade though? It surely isn't on Harald, but is that a black blade on Mr. No. We're not gonna go that far. But did it clash? It doesn't look like it looks like they're still touching though. It looks like it's about even, unless I keep reading. But I'm just still looking at this main panel right now because it's very cool. They're going and he's going The clash between the two strangers blew away everyone within a 5-kilometer radius. That's pretty crazy. See, it looks like they're not touching from this angle though. So maybe we haven't gotten a good old advanced clash, you know. Like a good Roger and Whitebeard clash. Bro, the headbutt between Luffy and Kaido. That's gotta be one of the coldest panels in Wano. When they were advanced Conquerors Haki and headbutting each other, but they weren't like, actually touching. Bro. Kaido. State your name, bruh. It's Harald. I'm Rocks. Angle your next strike towards the town, and they'll angle your next strike towards the town. They'll enslave you if you get caught. Huh? Why? Don't ask questions. Yeah. I wonder if he actually does that or not. Oh, I think he just does. Okay, so they're cool. They're kind of cool. They're kind of being cool as a cucumber right now. How do I get to Elbaf? The New World is that way. Well, if you survive this, let's meet again, Harald. Don't be ridiculous, as if I'd ever associate with a criminal like you. What? Are you seriously just gonna jump off the edge? Rocks had taken down a Navy admiral just moments earlier. Despite all the efforts to save him, the admiral did not survive. It was deemed the most grievous of sins. Was it Aki and his dad? I don't know. In the blink of an eye, Rox's infamy boomed. The event sent a powerful shock throughout the seas. And we see he's got a pretty good bounty. I guess someone like him, like, that's the best picture you could be able to get of him. Oh, man. He looks like, a lot of people don't look like super scary in their photos. Like, someone had to take a picture of that with a snail, and I'm pretty sure that whoever did that is Deadzo right now. But we don't see the bounty, but I'm sure it's in the billions after what he did. But also, he's got the tongue out, which I don't think that's a Blackbeard thing, but it is a Loki thing. So I feel like Loki getting his, like tongue out thing. Oh, no, it's a Vegapunk thing, obviously. No, but like Loki's main art thing, and a lot of his close-ups have been of him with his tongue out, like laughing like that. So that might be where he got it from. Sometime later, a ship carrying a great amount of celestial tribute to Mary Joie was attacked. The gates of justice were destroyed. What? Whoa, that's kind of crazy. The gates of justice are, like, huge. Like, ginormous. And the attacker fled the scene. The stolen funds were later used to support Rock's Pirates' activities. TCB. Activities. The gates of justice. Like, the things that, like, connect. I don't think you have to open the gates of justice to get to. You only impel down Marineford and Eddie's lobby. Obviously, those three things, and then there's the whirlpool in between them, which people don't really talk about anymore, that giant whirlpool that connects the three. I'm sure that's an important thing, you know, now that we're getting, like, crazy with the lore and stuff, like the big whirlpool in between the three things with the Gates of Justice, and, like, who made the Gates of Justice? What's up with the Gates of Justice? They're like, you can't even fathom how big they are. Like, you can't even see it because it's so big, and it's so in the distance and stuff, so I don't know. But how do you destroy that, you know? I'm sure not the whole thing. I'm sure you just, like, put a crack in it to get it in or out, but yeah. But also, why were the Gates of Justice had to do with a tribute? Because I don't think you have to deal with the gates to get to Mary Joie. That's just for Marineford in his lobby and Impel Down. But I don't know. I digress. Until that point, Rox had always acted against the world government. But after that, he started to target pirates too. Oh, dang, look at that. One, he's got the black beard right here. Holy moly. And then, is that his black beard? Or is that his jacket? That might be like a jacket on his shoulder, too. I don't know. It looks like he ain't wearing no shirt, though. In the world of pirates, there exists a long-standing tradition known as a Davy backfight. We get a Davy backfight mention in 2025 in Elbaf. Yes! Yes! Happy birthday to me! Yes! 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 I mean, obviously, he said he was a Davy Jonesian pirate, which is, you know, I ain't even thinking about that yet. I was thinking of, like, the actual Davy Jones from the Flying Dutchman that Hody was dealing with, but... Even if there's not technically one with Luffy and the rest of them in Elbaf by the end of the arc, like I said there was going to be, like I predicted, like a lot of people predicted, the fact that it was even mentioned, which it has not even been mentioned since the Davy back fight, you know, which is just insane. I can't believe it didn't show up in the Wano. I was really hoping, like, in the Roger, in the Odin flashback, it would show up, but it didn't. But it did show up here. He remembered. He remembered. Pirates' crews would compete in a series of matches, wagering their flags or even their crewmates in a truly ruthless game. And then we see him shooting another pirate during the boat race. He gives a good old, like, boxing. Bro, he's also... So boxing specifically was one of the competitions. Like, it wasn't just like, oh, it's a fight, and they just happened to use boxing gloves during that one in long range. No, they've just always been doing... It's always been boxing. And then he's doing something right here with an axe that looks bloody. I don't know if he's I can't tell if he's holding someone's head. Like a helmet. Or if he's on a table. Is he sitting down at a table? I can't tell. I can't tell what that one is, but... And then those are all... that's Whitebeard. What's that? Wait, no. I'm looking at it the wrong way. I can't tell what that one is. So that's how we got them all, was in Davy backfights. That's how he got, like, his original crew with, like, Shiki and Whitebeard. I don't know if that was, like, alluded to already, or if that was kind of assumed. I don't know if that was assumed or not, but it makes perfect sense of, like, that's how he made that crew. And that's why they kind of stuck together as long as they did, because of the, you know, they were obligated a little bit. I don't know who that is. I can't tell who the one in the middle is, but the one up top, that is definitely Whitebeard. Rox used this tradition to build his entire crew. They had won many scoundrels to their side before they even had a flag. They've got an amazing guy. You'll lose it when you see him. Who's he saying that to? Who's he saying that about, you think? Surely not Kaido. He's not saying that about Kaido. He's not saying that about Kaido. There's no way. Maybe he's saying that about, like, John. Captain Jack. Or Captain John, I think. After that, they made their way to Elbaf. I guess they'll do that later, though. We won't find out yet. That's it! Oh, yeah, there's a giant sword in Elbaf. Hasn't shown up or been mentioned or anything like that at all for a while still. We'll see if that actually comes up, though, eventually. Okay. There's some crazy stuff going on. Oh no, I rushed home as fast as I could, but I'm glad you've already turned the corner on your recovery. Thank goodness. I know that you're strong, Loki, but you shouldn't wander into the realm of the dead. You got lucky escaping with nothing more than that after falling off that cliff. There's plenty more dangers just lurking deeper inside. Escaping with nothing more than that after falling off that cliff. Okay, so he thinks that, like, the fall did it. Dad really came back? It has to be a coincidence. He couldn't have come for me. I feel like I gave Loki a southern accent in like an earlier chapter, but whatever. We're doing it like this now. Rocks! Rocks! I've heard all about your crimes. What are you doing here? What are you doing here? I missed you, Harald. You gotta join my crew. The world government won't hear you out, right? You get it now. The time has come. And oh boy, we got... oh goodness. This is gonna hurt me. This is hurting me. But we got... Rocks hanging out on a little plate thing right there. We got Shiki. We got Whitebeard. We got Stussy. And then we got... I think that's the guy who is at... I mean, I don't know. I don't know who that guy is. I think that was like the silhouetted guy in the sunglasses that we saw in the Kuma flashback. But apparently, like in an SBS or something, I didn't hear about this, but apparently, like they said who he was in an SBS, which I was like, oh, that's lame. I want to know who he is, though. And he's apparently like a reference to like another thing that Oda did or something. I don't remember. And then we got this feller in the back over here, who surely that's not Captain Jack. Who is that? Who is that? Who is that guy? Who is that ugly feller? Don't be stupid. If I anchor myself with a lug like you, I'll lose all the goodwill I've built up with my allies. This is a real feast, ja. Yeah. What of it? Aren't those allies government pawns? What's the point of reaching for something that's impossible? You gotta level the playing field. Don't be a wet blanket, Harald. Elbaf has the greatest warriors in the world. If something churns your stomach, you should just crush it. Oh, that's the king of Elbaf? He sure is big. That guy looks like a poo almost in the back. I forget. He had like a weird, like, Chinese sounding name in like some translations, and then like others. I remember them talking about him like all the way and at the Boa versus Blackbeard fight with Kobe. Because that was one of the first ones I did a video of. Because they were talking about how he was there at Rocky Port or something, and like he was like in charge of the Beehive Island. We still haven't seen Beehive Island yet. I guess we'll get to that. Oh, we might see that this week, or this flashback. This guy looks nothing like that silhouetted guy, though, from the other thing. I don't know. There's just a guy in a suit. All these, like, weird pirate people. And then there's just a guy in a suit. And then that guy... I don't remember if that guy was like... Oh, he was there during Rocky Port. And he was, like, there before Blackbeard took Beehive Island. Hachinosu. Or if this guy was one of the horse zombies from Thriller Bark. Because he also looks like he might have been one of the horse zombies from Thriller Bark, because Captain Jack was right beside him when that was happening. So people are like, okay, was he dead on Thriller Bark, or was he at Rocky Port, you know, in the 2-year time skip? So, don't know what's up with this guy. He doesn't technically have a name yet. We haven't seen a name. And then who is this guy back here? Who is this guy on the end? This nasty-looking feller. Why does he look like the dad? Why does he look like the dad of Caribou? Why does he look like Caribou's brother? Koirabu. I don't remember Caribou's brother's name, but he's got that same look to him. Let me look real quick. Oh, brother. Meh. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Thought I was cooking. Was not. But if I get myself with a foe like you, I'll lose all the goodwill I've built up with my allies. What of it? Aren't those allies government pawns? What's the point of reaching for something that's impossible? You gotta play. You gotta have realistic goals, Mr. Harald. Don't be a wet blanket. Elbaf has the greatest warriors in the world. Like, you're strong, brother. If something turns your stomach, you just crush it. Getting a king on your crew would be pretty crazy. Is he gonna try and Davy back him though? Is he gonna? If he does that, then there will technically be a Davy back fight on Elbaf, and then I'll be super right. That's the old way. Elbaf has changed. People never change. That same bloodlust is still pulsing through you. Hey, can't you two just enjoy the meal? Cusco, Whitebeard, Roger, the Roger Pirates, the Whitebeard. Hi, my name's Whitebeard. I sound like a Kronk. I don't know why I gave him the Kronk thing. You guys should know that if you follow a man like him, you'll only be led to ruin. Oh, he's saying that to Shiki. You guys should know that if you follow a man like him, you'll only be led to ruin. I mean, is he wrong? Bakken, not great. I don't know who this feller is at all. Whitebeard, dead. I mean, Whitebeard lived a good life, though. Shiki, I mean, we don't know. Is Shiki technically still an Impel down? Technically. That guy's probably dead, and this guy, I don't know. Following that moron? Don't make me laugh. We're all completely out for ourselves. None of us would bat an eye if Rox died. Shiki the Wicked, future Golden Lion. That's cool. Well, that's not to say his plans don't have a certain appeal. They could prove very lucrative. Have you heard of Hachinosu? The place they call the Isle of the Exiles, or even Pirate Island? Countries all around the world send their worst inmates there as a form of penal exile. Don Marlone. Don Marlone. Gangster from the West Blue. And then Miss Buckin. The Tech Bandit. They're just throwing stuff. They're just throwing stuff. Yeah, we know it's Buckingham. We know it's Stussy. Have you heard of Hachinosu? The place they call the Isle of Exiles, or even Pirate Island. Countries all around the world send their worst inmates there as a form of penal exile. I hope there's like a follow-up to that, because I feel like that's just a very random, just like, he said a thing. It was meant to be a barren island with no food, where all you could do was wait for death. But last year, the survivors started banding together. And why do you think that happened? Believe it or not, the island has a massive gold deposit. What? It was meant to be a barren island with no food, where all you could do was wait for death. But last year, the survivors started banding together. Believe it or not, the island has a massive gold deposit. A shadowy organization found out and got involved. They helped the criminals amass a fortune that really pissed off the government. Hachinosu had some gold. And then a shadowy organization. Okay. Does that just mean like the mafia? The mafia? The underworld? The underworld that's not mentioned a whole lot in One Piece and isn't fully explained? Are we finally explaining the underworld? So we got Edward Newgate, future Whitebeard. Pirate Prophet Ochoku, future Commodore of Pirate Island. And then Gonzui, the smuggler. Brother. We gotta do some deep diving real quick. Where the heck is the search button in this gosh darn thing? Rockyport. I gotta look up Rockyport again, real quick. A large passenger ship? I thought it was a port. What do you mean the Rocky Port was a passenger ship? Is the wiki crazy? Also, I thought they would... So what was his name? Ochoku. Gonzo? Nope, not that guy. I really thought they were gonna... His name was mentioned there. Oh, why does it say that Stroyson is... Gilbastar? Okay, this is saying that that's Gilbastar right there. Oh my gosh. Does it say that? No, that says Don Marlone! But then the wiki said it's someone named Gilbastar, which is from the guy from Wanted. Who said that? Who? For one, why is there... They're saying he's a zombie. What? This is just... Okay, screw the wiki. The wiki's just wrong. Whatever's being said right here, the wiki's just, like, straight up wrong. Like, we know this guy... Well, this guy right here does not look like this guy all that much. Maybe he does, but... Not right now, he doesn't. But this is not helpful. And why does it say that Stroyson is part of the Rocks Pirates? Why does it say that Struyson is part of the Rocks Pirates? That's... I get... Okay, never mind. Ochoku. Is this guy... He was mentioned by Son Goku during the Rocky Port incident. What? Wait, no, Ochoku was the guy from was the Rocky Port guy. Oh! Duh! That's the guy I was thinking of. Ochoku was the guy I was thinking of. Okay. And then Wang Zi is what freaking Viz has been calling them. That's why I was confused. So they're saying that this guy is Wang Zi. Oh, it says future Commodore Pirate Island. I'm fucking retarded. I'm sorry. I'm not even done with the chapter. This is like my longest chapter thing. Well, I'm messing around, but gone. Okay, that clears things up actually. So this guy, Ochoku, doesn't matter if he's related to anyone. He doesn't have to be, but he's the guy who was around, who was in charge of Pirate Island, and then got messed up at Rocky Port. And then this guy is the guy who turned into the horse. This guy turned into the horse. Was a horse zombie. Cool. Which there still is a good chance that Rocky Port is Thriller Bark. I like that theory. But they really pissed off the government. Amassed a fortune. These days, anyone who gets near the island gets swarmed by the hardened criminals. They'll strip you everything. So then, we cut a deal with the government. I asked, how much are you going to pay us if we take that island back for you guys? That's why he was at the reverie then. Once we get the money, we'll take down Pirate Island and split the mountain. Load. Once we get the What is with the font today? Once we get the money, we'll take down Pirate Island and split the mountain load of loot between us. But there's no way in hell we're just handing over the island and those criminals after that. Get it? I'll take charge of Hachinosu, and with these dumbasses under me, we'll turn into a pirate paradise. I can already see the government and Marines standing there like clueless dogs. So was this like your plan? But that obviously, they probably said... Are they saying we should do this? Or are they saying we tried this, but it didn't work? But so they're trying to get money from the government to finance their attack of Pirate Island. And he's saying, Harald, join me in that. He's saying, like, we cut the deal, now, like, we're gonna get the money. So he thinks, like, oh, we're gonna get the money in soon. So you should join us, and then we can split the loot, the gold there. But then I'm gonna sneakily take charge of Hachinosu, and it'll be funny. This is just the prologue to my life. Using that island as me base. As me base. I'll crush the Navy, bring the Holy Land crashing down, and after that, I'm gonna be king of the world. Crush the Navy, bring the Holy Land crashing down. Okay. Sounds pretty epic. What bad things have we seen Rox do so far, by the way? He's killed an admiral. You know, he's done some Davy back fights to, like, get some pirates and stuff. He did kill an admiral. I don't know. And he's like, I'm going to be king of the world. And Loki's like, oh, this guy's pretty cool. This guy's pretty neato. Your enemies are too big. You're picking a fight with the whole planet. Say what you want. One day, someone's bound to pull it off. Hey, you mean like my boy, Monkey D. Rufy? Maybe. We'll see. He's going to be king of the pirates. Maybe not of the world. Maybe he will be king of the world, technically, by the time. There's no such thing as power that lasts forever. Join me, Harald. If we team up, we'll be unstoppable. Say what you want. Someone's bound to pull it off. There's no such thing as power that lasts forever. He's not talking about himself, per se. He's talking about the world government. I mean, he's cutting not a bad deal right now, Mr. Harald. But, Harald, dang, now I can see already why Loki would be really pissed that Harald did not take this deal at this point in time. Of course, this is just like, he's just like wanting, he's not like saying like, oh, I'm going to help people with this yet. He's not saying anything like that, technically, so, you know. He just wants to. He just wants like chaos. He wants to be king of the world, you know. So yeah, not very altruistic, which is what Harald's all about. You know, what would Ida think? You know, what would Miss Ida think of us? You know, but Loki's hearing all this. Quit inviting me. I told you I'm the king. That doesn't matter. The world. I'm going to go claim it. The whole darn world. And Loki's like, bruh. Loki's like, bruh. Okay. This is my Shanks. This is my Shanks. Loki suddenly realized he had found salvation. Because, like, this guy's got ambitions. Now, these are good people. None of these are good people, except for maybe Harald. We don't know, though. But he says, I'm going to go claim it. Which is, like, very, like, reminiscent of, you know, like, I'm going to go claim the One Piece. But, like, obviously that's not what that's all about. I hope this guy doesn't completely show up Roger. I have a feeling that like he might by the end of this, but then we're going to get like a little bit more Roger stuff. I feel like the way Roger's reputation is like Roger has to be like the top dog, you know? Part of me thinks like Roger has to be the top dog in like all this back stuff. But I don't know. He might not be anymore. He might not be top one. It's weird thinking that, like, Roger might not be top one. Which is, like, obviously, it's Roger, you know? No one's gotten to his heights. Before or since. Before or after. But I don't know. Maybe he was just winging it, you know? 4 years passed. Harald continued rejecting the numerous invitations he received. Until one day... Oh, that's Hachinosu. Rox's plan had finally... what are we at? I don't know. We're not at God Valley yet, is all I know. Rox's plan had finally reached its... Wait a second. They stole things from Hachinosu to have as prizes for God Valley. So that mean that some of those funny fruits, or maybe some other things. Maybe it was other things too, but I know they said that they stole treasure from Pirate Island. So I guess in this they're gonna take it. They're gonna take it regardless of Harald's help, you know. But then the world government is gonna come and steal some of that for the Celestial Dragons, and then that's why they go to God Valley, is to get their stuff back. Finally reached its fruition, backed by his monstrous crew, which we haven't seen Jack yet in all this, so... Or Kaido and Big Mom. He would send shockwaves throughout the world. Set sail, you bastards! You bastards. I guess I should be giving him like a piratey talk. This is just the prologue to my life. But I gave him more of a southern accent. A little bit. A little bit of a Mr. Krabs, you know. Which man, if they got Clancy Brown to get this to voice it, bro, we need Clancy somewhere in One Piece in the dub. We need to get Clancy up in here. I think he would have been a good Blackbeard. I mean, I'm sure the dub guy's fine. I don't watch the dub, but in my head, whenever I read One Piece, that's who he is. He's just like, he's Clancy Brown? No. Yes, that's his name. That's his name, Mr. Krabs, you know. You know. You know, just the lower, deeper Mr. Krabs. Whenever Mr. Krabs gets mad, you know. At that tone of thing. But 4 years later, then he's like, okay, I'm the Rocks Pirates. I'm actually a pirate crew. And that's when the more notoriety starts. What a fun chapter. What a good chapter. I like this chapter better than the last chapter. And like, yeah, it was, did we get ore farming? We got lore. We got a bunch of lore. Did we get ore farming per se? Yo, no. We got some ore farming right here, I do declare. Look at that. Look at that. Ain't that something? You know? Ain't that something? I like that one. I like that one. I like that one too. I'm saving things. And also we got her helper as, you know, as what looks like Gunko. Also with the face mat, with the coverings. So that's like a, you know, that some, you know, Gunko has a head covering, and then this person, face covering, I mean, face mask. And this person does too. With the frills, So what's up with that? This is the first time we've seen, well, besides Cobra. This is the only person besides Cobra that we've seen talk to Emu. But he came in here, kidnapped some kings. How do you kidnap 5 kings on your own? Like, what, just like in your hand or something? The lives of those sovereigns cannot be used to extort me. No kidding, but it threw the Holy Land into total chaos. Just one day, I'll be back. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, that's the most ore farming thing ever right there, is that just one day I'll be back. Which, you know, when he comes back, it'll be in the form of Blackbeard. But now, the question is, like, is Blackbeard just his son? And he's just like, and it's just like the will of Zebek, you know? Or is there like some weird thing? Because we know that Blackbeard has a weird body. We don't think that there's anything like weird about rocks per se. I don't think there is. Also, I thought this big thing right here was his beard. It was just his jacket. Darn it. Oh well. He's got that kid look though, almost with the jacket and shirt, while being shirtless. The fur coat, while being shirtless. We finally have a face to freaking Ochoku, Wang Zi, and Gonzui. We finally got names for all these people. We didn't see Captain Jack though in this, sadly. You know, but you know, also swordsman. He's got a sword. He got a sword. Which I guess we didn't see the sword in the last chapter, but now that we clearly see the sword, it's like, yeah, no, he probably cut that mountain just with his sword. People were like, oh, he's got that, so he was using room, which is obviously not. He was just saying that because of the 2 thing. I don't think he does not have the OPOP no me. He does not. He's not. I know that I can say that with like 100% fact. Now, does he have the chop fruit? Maybe. Does he have some certain fruit that we haven't seen yet? Maybe. But I think he might just be a strong feller. He might just have that dog in him, you know? You know what? Same with Loki too. I mean, Loki obviously doesn't have a fruit at this point in time. There's still the sacred Elbaph fruit that was taken when Harald died, which we're getting to eventually. We'll catch back up to that eventually. But, I don't know. So I'm a little tired. I'm getting a little sleepy all of a sudden. I haven't eaten yet. Well, I've had like a little bit of salad, but I still just got off work. Technically, I've been off work for an hour and a half, for goodness sake. For pity's sake. For pity's sake. Views 41. Goodness gracious. Concurrent viewers 3. Epic. Whoop! Wait, what? Why does it say 5 all of a sudden? What are y'all doing? Y'all just hanging out? I read the chapter. It was a pretty crazy chapter. It's a pretty crazy chapter, guys. Pretty insano, I gotta say. Yeah. But he doesn't have a black blade, so obviously Mihawk's stronger. I do not care about I do not care about that. There are parts of like agenda stuff that I do not care. I don't care about agenda, really. I care about the story. I care about the story and the characters. Hello, Mr. Charlie. Hope you enjoyed the chapter. Spoilers for the chapter. I finished the chapter, so I'm just kind of yapping about the chapter. It was a very good chapter. We saw Harald doing cool things. Hey, they clashed. And they both seem happy by their clash. So, does that mean that they are equals? We see a pretty equal clash right here between Rox and Harald. Does that mean that they're equal in strength? I don't know. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? Because most people were like, oh, well, Harald's not like as strong as Rox. But, you know, they had a cool clash right there, so. Like, Harald hasn't had, like, super crazy feats or nothing so far. So, that's kind of where we're at right now. Like, this is the craziest thing he's done, obviously, Harald. And then all the crazy stuff has been, like, from Loki. Like, it's kind of assumed that, like, because Loki's this demon child, that he's has way more potential in him than Harald does, you know. But yeah, no. This is good. Rox is living up to expectations? I don't know. The idea of quote unquote living up to expectations in a story like One Piece at this point, where we've been waiting like so long and things have been like people have been hyping themselves up so much that it's like weird to even think that like, oh, are things living up to expectations that we've been waiting for a while? That's a interesting like little thought, like, because like in my head, like nothing that Oda can even write anymore can live up to the expectations in my head of like what God Valley was, what the God Valley incident was, who Rox is, and all that. What is the One Piece, you know? Like, that's gonna fall short for a lot of people. For a lot of people, probably. But I'm enjoying this Rox stuff. The fact that he's Blackbeard's son, Blackbeard's dad, though, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. I remember, like, it was, like, in the middle of Wano that we even learned who Rox was. You know, Rox was not, like, someone we've been waiting to hear about for decades. It's just been, like, a couple of years. Like, 5 or 6 years at this point, I think. Something like that. Don't know. Dunno. Dunna. But that's good. I'm glad we learned at least the names of all these people. And we got a Davy back fight. We got a Davy back fight mention in this. It's epic. I wish he would have Davy back fighted Harald himself. That would have been cool, but I guess he's not a pirate, so he can't do that to people who aren't pirates. What game is he playing right here? Is he just chopping a guy with an axe right here? Also, axe feats from Rox. Scopper? Is Scopper in trouble? Do we already have a better Axeman? Do we already have World's Strongest Axeman? Is Scopper already number 2 when it comes to World's Strongest Axemans? In Elbaf? Oh no. Oh no. Scopper's already going down a peg. We already got another better Axeman. I love that. I love that he just like shot the guy in the boat race though. He's in the boat, so we don't know if he's... Yeah. He's kind of big though in this. He's kind of he's not like super slim or nothing right here. He's got some bulk to him. He's got like a meat. Oh my gosh, he looks just like me. He's got a bit of that bulk to him in this little thing of him boxing a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Hello. Sleepy Bean. We're just wrapping up. We were doing some reading of this, some good stuff. Oh, thank goodness the chat box decided to work today. Goodness gracious, sometimes it just doesn't. Our voices. Goodness, it's going out. I mean, I'm glad I had a voice. I didn't have a voice during my last reaction, which was very annoying, but I did this time, and boy howdy, I almost lost it by giving Rocks a big old southern accent for some reason. Buggy, yeah. Well, I was talking about that earlier, about how it's I guess I thought it was more of a parallel between him and Loki, because we've seen Loki. See, the thing I'm saying in my head, like, makes actual narrative sense, that, like, actually makes sense, because we know that there definitely is a connection between Loki and Rox at this point. We know he is very much infatuated by him, so him sticking his tongue out because of that makes sense. Buggy, you know, it's more of a theory. I don't do theories all that much, but I love Buggy. I'm a Buggy lover, but that, you know what? Another piece of the puzzle. That's another piece of the puzzle, though. Another piece of the puzzle. Could be. I mean, I see, like, the tongue thing, but I don't really see. Did he have his hand out? I don't know. I'm not going to look it up. Harald jumping off the red line, though, too, is kind of a crazy thing. Like, we've seen, like, you know, Loki jump off, like, you know, into the underworld from Elbaf, and we've seen, like, Kaido jump from a sky island, but... And then, like, I don't know, Kuma's flying around thing doesn't really count as falling, but... I mean, Harald jumping off the red line, that's kind of a crazy feat. Like, is it not? Is it not? Don't gloss over that. He jumped the entirety of the red line, which is like probably as tall, if not taller, than some of the Sky Islands that we know of. Like, it's so big that, like, you can't even see the top. But yeah. If Buggy surpasses Rox, maybe. Is that how you read it? And, I mean, someone is yelling, an admiral was murdered, so... I mean, if you took him out and he bled out, then that's still... You can't say he didn't kill... That's a bit of cope. Be like, oh, Rox didn't kill the admiral. Rox just almost killed the admiral, and the admiral bled out regardless. Okay. I mean, it's an Oda box. It's not like an opinion. It's not an opinion thing. It's an Oda box. So... All the efforts to save him. The admiral did not survive. This one I'm gonna need some vizzy wizzy in here. I'm gonna need to read into some things on this. What was one? One, I need to know if they call him, gosh darn, was it Wangzi? Wangzi in the house. Ochoku. Wangzi in the house. Hey, my bot works. Look at that. That's been for my that's been for my Twitch for that to show up. I didn't realize that showed up. My goodness. He didn't do the fatal blow. I guess not. Well, he was in a hurry. You know? He probably just did. What probably happened is that he did a big old bah on the guy, and then he flew back. And then instead of, like, you know, I guess he didn't do the double tap. He didn't do the double tap, but he didn't need it in this instance. But I think it's pretty obvious that his first his first concern was getting to Emu, and that like dealing with the admiral was like lower on his list of priorities. I was not. I thought that the people, I mean, like back in the day, people were saying it was the Asian looking guy with the hair and the big beard. People were saying that was Ochoku, but then I was like, but that guy is also supposedly a big horse zombie in Thriller Bark. But now they're like, no, that's Gonzui. That's the smuggler. Of course, this guy doesn't look much like how he did in the God Valley thing with his glasses. I guess with the glasses, and if he cuts his beard and he puts the helmet on, maybe. But he looks a lot sillier in this situation. And this guy, give me Caribou vibes. I thought he looked like Caribou's brother, but then I looked up Caribou's brother, and he definitely does not look like Caribou's brother anymore. But he's got like a I'm on Blackbeard's crew looking design, though, for sure. And then Don Marlone. Another thing people were being stupid about. I hate that. 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 I hate people being stupid. I was hearing junk. I was hearing garbage about this online and on like some shorts and a couple streams about apparently in an SBS or something or somewhere on in some interview or something. They're like, oh yeah, that guy in the picture. That guy is Gil from the Wanted series, from his first Wanted thing. And I was like, oh, that's kind of lame. But then you get to this, and it says Don Marlone. That's not whoever the frick this is. But then they're like, this wiki, man, this wiki is the worst. This wiki is the worst. I've seen some. And they're like, it's this guy, obviously, with the 4 pistols. Because does this guy even have a pistol? Does this guy even have a pistol? Doesn't even look like it. Doesn't even look like it. Maybe he does. I guess he does right here. But that's the only reason. They're like, oh yeah, it's him. Did someone say that, or did someone just like infer that? Did someone on the wiki just like say like, oh, that's true? That's not him. I mean, this might be a different guy. This Dawn guy doesn't look like the silhouetted guy from the God Valley double spread, but I don't know. A gangster from the West Blue. Where's Capone from? Is he from West Blue? I don't remember if it was said. WWs. You're not beating an Admiral today? I think Rox beat him in like 4 moves. I think Rox is just that guy. I think he's just that guy, pal. I think he's just that. I think Rox is just that guy. Personally. I mean, like, he rolled up. He rolled up to Emu. And he was like, I'll be back. And like, that's crazy. Also, I can't have that up. I'm going to get in trouble. I think Rox is just that guy. No, he didn't meet the Holy Knights. Holy Knights don't do things in Mary Joie when bad things happen at the Reverie. What are you, crazy? When has that ever happened? They'll show up later. They'll crucify one of the random people that was probably patching up the Admiral who didn't save the Admiral or something. They'll probably randomly do that, because that's all they do. It's like, oh, wow. What Garling feats have we gotten? Oh, he's killed one Celestial Dragon and a bunch of slaves. And those are his only feats. Those are his only feats right now. What has Garling done? What have we seen Garling do? Just saying. Just saying. I do like... You know what, though? Rox ain't a swordsman because he's kind of a jack of all trades. Because we saw him with the sword, but then, you know, we've also seen him. We see him with the guns. He's doing the gun stuff. And he's also doing the axe stuff, you know. We already got, you know, he's an axe man, just like Scopper. Scopper, you know, who we thought... He at least had, you know, #1 axe man, world's greatest axe man on his as his moniker. Can't even have that anymore because Rox is apparently the greatest axe man because Rox has an axe. I mean, he's the father of Loki. We were waiting for feats, admittedly. Admittedly, he's just been kind of a nice guy. You know, hanging out with Ida. We didn't see any of Ida or her Ruden. We didn't even see, like, yeah, we didn't see either of them this chapter. Dang. Oh, well. I mean, I'm glad. It makes sense. You would think that the former king of Elbaf would be that strong. He just hasn't done any feats technically yet, but, you know, one would assume that he would be. But we also need to assume that Loki is stronger than Harald. Maybe not now, but probably in present day, Loki is stronger than Harald. Because Loki's a freak. Loki's a freak of nature. So it's assumed that however strong Harald is right now, Loki is probably stronger than that currently. And then he becomes the Rock's Pirates. And now we got like the whole thing of like, okay, there was gold. There was gold there. There was treasure. There was gold, I do declare. Gold. Pirate gold at Pirate Island. And so I assumed that they went and took it. But then the Celestial Dragons, they were like, oh, we're going to take some of that treasure for this fun little festival we got on God Valley. And then that's when they were like, no, we're going to get some of that back. Also, we're going to take you fruits, too, while we're at it. And then Roger showed up. Why did Roger show up? I think they've showed up because of the treasure as well. And then Garp showed up because Roger was there. Man, Garp and... It's almost like comical now that Garp and Roger were beefing at that time when Rox was right there. Like, if Kong had said on the phone, hey, Rox is showing up, instead of saying, hey, Roger is showing up, like, what would Garp have been like, oh, but I'm definitely not going. Get me out of there. You know, Garp, you know. Garp, who would be admiral level at this point. Don't forget that. Don't forget that, because he would have been an admiral if he didn't hate the Celestial Dragons. So that means that Rox is like already above Garp at this time. Probably. I mean, like, assumedly, because it was probably both Rox and Roger that took out... It was both Roger and Garp that had to take out Rox at God Valley. Is what we're assuming we will see. Alright, whatever. I don't know. I don't care about Mihawk. Mihawk... When Mihawk does something... When Mihawk physically does something... Then I'll say stuff. But until then, nah. Nah. Yeah, I don't know what the Elders are up to. Elders aren't going to fight in the Holy Land. They're going to fight in the throne. How do you get... That's a good question, though. How do you get past the... How do you get to the garden room? I guess it's kind of far. It's not like... Is it in, like, the literal next room? Is it in, like... Is it, like, literally down the hall? I might have to, like, reread some, like, stuff from the first Reverie. Like, how close is the flower room to the throne room? Because I assume that Rox would have to walk through the throne room first. But then there's also, like, the Elders, like, little hangout spot, too. They got their little, like... They got their, like, little living room area with the couch. So where's the couch room? Do they have to go walk past the couch room first? I don't know. I don't know. Oh, yeah. Harold got... Obviously, King of the Giants has Conqueror's Haki. That was just inferred. We're just inferring these things. And we will see. We will see. Rox did say, I'll be back, you know. Does that just mean like, oh, he did some weird freaky fruit stuff, fruit hockey stuff for something with my son, with Blackbeard or something? I don't know. Blackbeard has a weird body. We know he has a weird body. We are aware of this fact, at the least. And we know that Blackbeard wants the world. He wants the world. And that's pretty freaking cool. Golly. And I'm like, the main thing though that I've taken out of this chapter, like from just one day I'll be back, is that I am like 99% sure now that Blackbeard is going to be the final villain. He's going to be the final boss, and that Emu is going to be a stepping stone to get to. Like, it'll probably be like the same big. It'll be in the same arc, obviously, probably a big like clash. Oh, I don't know when I muted myself, but we might need to take a look at that mural again, you know, and look at the fellers, look at all the fellers at the end of that mural, and be like, okay, who's who there? Where's Blackbeard on that? Because what's up with that? What's up with that? What's up with that? What's up with that? Because this guy got plans. And like once it, like we're learning lore about Rox, we're still not getting like super duper like crazy like behind the scenes. I'm still waiting to see what Shanks knows and what Shanks has been up to and what Shanks' plans are for all this, you know. Why did Shanks take that fruit? Why did Shanks know about that fruit, you know? What is the origin of these fruits and all that and whatnot? But like I can see why Harald did not say yes to this guy's plan, because he does just seem, he's like, I want to be king of the world, and Harald's just like, I'm trying to like be nice to people. I'm trying to be like altruistic and whatnot. And you seem kind of toxic, Mr. Rox. So I don't know. I don't understand what you even said. A final villain is actually gonna really do something himself until it's the YK, the final part of he or she to actually do what he needs to. You're gonna have to run that through another translator. You're saying that like the final villain isn't gonna like show what they do until the final thing, because we've seen Emu do stuff and we've seen Blackbeard do stuff. We know Blackbeard has more plans. Like Emu is the more like immediate, like, okay, this person has to go like in the immediate future or else the world's gonna flood. Like that's like the like I'm almost like this almost goes into the video that I'm working on right now. It doesn't, but I'm working on a very long video about Egghead and how the elders were doing on that. I'm working on that. That'll be showing up before they show up in the anime, at least. No. But I was saying how the elders in Egghead, they feel more like natural disasters than they do characters. Like, that's why people didn't, like, really... They're not like, oh, the best villains ever, you know. People aren't saying that about, like, Saturn, and, like, people are, like, really disappointed in the Grosei. And I think that's because they feel more like impending dooms and natural disasters, like these unstoppable, immovable objects, almost. But they don't really have, like, much character to them at all. Like, you know, like, what's his name? Jupiter, he didn't even talk. He was literally just a monster, you know? So it's like, oh yeah, do you like the character of Jupiter? No, because he's just a worm. He didn't even say words. And I have a feel, and like, that's kind of how am almost feeling how Emu's going to possibly be in the final arc. Because it's just like, oh, if this doesn't get solved really soon, we know that they're about to like put an end to like the whole world. They're about to rise the sea levels even more very soon. So like the entire world is kind of at stake in like the very, very, very near future because of that. But we know that's not what Blackbeard wants. Blackbeard wants something different. Blackbeard wants to be king of the world. What does that mean? I don't think it means killing everybody. I don't think Blackbeard wants mass genocide. I think he just wants to rule over everyone. So when did Rox have a child? We'll find out. Maybe in this, we might not. I have a feeling, I don't think we're actually going to get to Blackbeard in this. That's my prediction. I don't think we're going to actually see Blackbeard in this flashback. I think we're going to get to that later. I think that Loki and Rox are going to part, and we're going to stick with Loki doing Elbaph shenanigans. We better get to Lola. We better get to Lola. We better get to Lola soon, I swear. I swear, Oda. You've been talking about Loki since Lola. And there was a big thing that happened between him and Lola. And he was a big fat guy in the silhouette. We got to figure out why he was the big fat guy in the silhouette. And why he fell in love with Lola, for one. And two, why she turned him down later. Mars is something. Mars is something. Mars, he tried his best. Boy howdy did absolutely jack all nothing that whole arc. He ran around and he cried because he was kind of being incompetent, but boy howdy, he tried his best. He'd have to take down the Holy Land and the Navy. Yeah, and I think that's what's going to happen. I think that's why he's going to be the final boss, and that's why Emu isn't going to be the final boss, because that's going to happen either because of Luffy doing most of the work and then Blackbeard like taking the final little bit of it, the same way he did in Marineford, because that's what he did in Marineford, you know. The you know, Whitebeard, with Whitebeard, you know, the world government did most of the work on taking out Whitebeard, and then Blackbeard showed up and did the rest. He's going to do a very similar thing in the final war. He might not be dead. I feel like he's got to be dead. They said he was killed, so it's not like he was executed like Roger. It's not going to be like a big execution thing like Roger. I mean, it's got to be it. Like his name was erased. I mean, like if he said, you know what? If he said, "I'll be back," you know, another thing, Cope. Here comes some Cope. He said, "One day I'll be back." So maybe Rox did go back, and he actually like tried to do some stuff with Emu, but then he was like, "Oh goodness, maybe I'm not ready for Emu. Maybe I'm not ready for Emu, and maybe Emu just took him out like that." That's another Cope. That might be a Cope. That might be a Cope, but maybe he doesn't need plot armor. You know, I don't know. Blackbeard himself, he has anti-plot armor because he takes more damage because of his fruit, because it absorbs things with the darkness fruit. So he definitely doesn't have plot armor. He has anti-plot armor, actually. Foreshadowing. I think it's foreshadowing for Blackbeard, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. It could be one or the other. Could be interpreting it. I hope it's the former. But you're asking like who could have killed Rox, you know, and we know of at least one character who is stronger than Rox. I mean, like who killed Rox? I mean, like it was Garp and Roger together. Like I feel like that's. I don't know. I mean, like that's obvious. I don't know why I'm wondering, speculating on how Rox died. We know how Rox died. It's because Garp and Roger teamed up. Which, you know, I don't think either of them on their own could take him. But I think that if Garp and Roger teamed up, that they could take out Rox, which I think is what happened. Rayleigh over Gabon? I mean, we got King of the World Rox over here with an axe. So, you know, we know that he's an axe man, you know. So Scopper already not the world's strongest axe man. So sad. So sad. He had one good thing going for him, you know. He was like, I got those axes though. I'm good with the axes. But now we see Rox with the axes, and this is like, it's like axes wasn't even his like main thing, you know. He's like he's got the perk that lets him have 3 weapons, you know. He's got the gun, he's got the axe, he's got the sword. He probably punches real good with his fists too. You never know. You never know. So I don't know. I'd like to think that they're pretty comparable, but probably Rayleigh is a little stronger technically. But I have a feeling that there's probably more to learn, though, from Scopper from a different perspective. He did have to remind Luffy, be like, hey, watch your hockey, sir. Mihawk definitely ain't teaching Zoro about Conqueror's hockey, so someone had to. I've heard the Wano thing. And then all it says is just the future Golden Lion, which is just like, we still don't even know what's up with him technically, canon-wise, you know? Is it canon that he is still an Impel Down? I don't know. Old Rayleigh over old Gabon? I don't know about that. I almost feel like I feel like both of them right now? Whew, I don't know. I'd like to say that because Scopper is on Elbaf, that he's gotta be more active and stuff, you know? While Rayleigh is kind of being a little lazy on Sabaody. But, you know, there's a big old slave house, too, that he's got to worry about, too. So, he does live... Rayleigh does live, like, right next to Mary Joie, too. So, I'm sure he's got to be up and at it sometimes, I assume. Oh, they're also graded blades, of course. And I'm sure that if Rox and Scopper clashed with his one with 2 graded axes and one with just a axe he just found on the ground, I bet that Rox would still win that clash. Remember, none of that matters. None of that matters. None of that matters. We've known this since Bradier, when Mihawk took out the little pocket knife on his necklace. We've known for literally the entirety of One Piece that your actual weapon doesn't matter. If you're just strong enough, you can pick up a toothpick and win. It doesn't matter how good your sword is. I don't care. I'm pretty sure that at this point in the span of this chapter, Rox has already had more speaking lines than Mihawk. At this point. Maybe. We're getting there. I think that maybe not now, but I think that by the end of this flashback, Rox will literally have more lines, more words of dialogue than Mihawk. So, I don't care. I don't care about Mihawk. I don't care about Shanks all that much either, in terms of all that. I just want to see them do stuff. I don't care. I don't care about swordsmen, really, at all. I don't care about fights in One Piece. They're bad. They're all bad. Fights in One Piece are bad. They just trick you because the anime has good sakuga sometimes. And they just have to make things up. There are good clashes. There are well-drawn clashes in One Piece, and there are a lot of good fights in post-time skip. We haven't had a good fight since Kaido, and, you know, some would say Katakuri, but You know. All I'm saying, if you want a good fight, if you want to see a good fight, go read JoJo. Go read JJK. I mean, watching JJK is obviously... But, like, even, like, reading JJK, like, the Culling Wars, ooh, the choreography and the problem-solving and the technicality of a fight in a manga is sometimes you're just like, oh, wow, I remember what things are, than just like, oh, they clashed. They just... That's all fights are, just like big punches and just big... That's all they are. There's no like, oh, this person has this. How am I gonna defeat this thing? You know, I gotta think. I gotta come up with an ideas. You know, I have to use trial and error. He is like, nah. It's just, That's all One Piece fights are nowadays. Like the best fight we've had in Elbaf so far is Robin versus Summers, like by a long shot. Like the little funny stuff that Scopper was doing was neat against Summers. And then, like, the Gunko versus the rest of the Straw Hats was also, like, interesting, too, I think. I don't find people are just invincible and people just regenerate. I don't find that stuff as interesting, personally. I don't know. Go read JoJo. Go read a JoJo fight and be like, oh, wow. This is how fights are supposed to be. I respect the hard work, obviously, but it's not canon. And we'll get to that. I have a whole video coming up about that. This is going to be very long, where I talk about every single thing that the Gorosei do in the last climax. I'm working on it. It's recorded. It's recorded. It's very long. It's very long. It'll come out in at least the next couple of weeks. But I get to that. But this person versus this person, wow, that sounds like it would be an interesting fight. But all it is just like you typing. It's just people typing two words, two names, and then putting a VS on their screen, and they press enter, and that's it. And it's like, okay. It's like, why? I would love to see a fight of them, like, you know, doing things. But if it just comes down to, oh, they both do a big attack at the same time, and there's a bit of a clash, but then at the end of the clash, one of them goes, ah, you were stronger than me, ah. Then, like, okay, there's not like, oh, this person fights like this. Oh, how do I do this? It's just like, oh, they graded their weapons. It's black-coated, and he bloomed with the conquerors, but it's advanced. But is it arm? Is it advanced arm? That's why Devil Fruit fights pre-time skip were interesting, because Luffy had to like think. He had to use problem solving to figure it out. You know, Luffy versus Crocodile. It wasn't just oh, Luffy just punched him real good, so he won. It was like, oh no, I have to figure out his sand stuff. I have to use trial and error. I'm gonna put it on the. I'm going to use the water. Oh, I figured out the water thing because of the personal interaction that I had with Toto earlier. Oh my gosh, now I have the big water thing on my back. Oh, that's how you do it. Oh, even though I figured out that's how you do it, I still didn't win, but I got to come back. Now I'm doing the blood thing. I figured that out too. And then that's how he does to it. And then Crocodile's like, oh, things are hard. I'm going to use the poison on my thing. And then Luffy's got another thing to deal with. And then after all that, he does a big cool attack, you know? Then you get all that. But nowadays, it's just like, they start with the big cool attack, and then that's just it. That's just the whole thing. And it's either just like, oh, does he have magic hockey that makes him literally unbeatable? Or does he not? And then that's how we know. Does the other character have the way to stop the unbeatable armor or not? And that's just all the fights are. The way they got rid of Mars is the only clever thing they did in the climax of Egghead. How they team rocketed Mars away. That was it. Whatever. I'm going on a rant. I'm crashing out. I know. I watched all JoJo before One Piece too. I like One Piece better as a story, personally. I do. But I love both. But those fights, man, like Grateful Dead and Beach Boy. That train fight. It's so cool. He zipped his heart into a bunch of pieces to make it to where the Beach Boy couldn't get him. And then they did. And then he punched him and he said, "Arrivederci." And it's the coolest thing in the world. JoJo's so good. JoJo's so good. The fights are so good. Joseph, he does all this crazy stuff where he loops the string around, but then it's just like, oh, I got your string thing, but it's like, oh, actually, I tie the string in this particular way to where I can smash it, and then he does it real good, and then he takes his arm off, but then all of a sudden he starts crying, and he's like, no, I'm better, and then he just like gets someone else's arm. He was like, I had to cry to, to make myself feel better. Now I'm back in it. And I'm like, this is the best thing in the world. This is the best thing in the world. There's nothing like One Piece, like that AC/DC fight, man. There's nothing like it. Nothing like it. Maybe like Kaido getting drunk, but like, I don't know. That didn't make too much of a difference in the actual fight itself. He punched him real good. I think he technically beat Croc. All in Fight is very good too. I think I mean like Zoro versus Hachi is a top 3 Zoro fight. I will say that. I will dead ass say that. Zoro versus Hachi is better than Zoro versus King. It's a better fight. It's a better written fight. Like Zoro versus King looks really cool in the anime because they glazed it up and gave it money, but the stuff that like was being said, another instance where it's like, oh, the fucking swords don't matter. I can just pick up my bounty hunter friends' swords and still beat you. Oh, you got 6 swords? I don't give a fuck. I can still beat you. Because it's not about that. And then Hachi didn't get it, and that's why he got cut real good. I mean, it's not better than Mr. 1. Mr. 1 is the best fight, probably. And then we got Kaku. Who's... Kaku might be... that's so hard. I love the Kaku fight. Where he turns into a cube, and then he goes pasta, and then he stands up and he goes pasta machine. And that's the coolest thing in the world. That's the craziest thing in the world. You know, you ain't getting that in post-time skip One Piece. You don't get a giraffe cube who stands up and gets really long and then goes, pasta machine. That's the coolest shit in the world. I ain't gonna hear that. That's top 2 fight. Top 2 fight. Maybe I'm gonna still give Mr. 1. But top 3 Zoro fights, Mr. 1, Kaku, and Hachi. King, all the way down there. No. Kaku. I love Kaku. I don't know. Like Luffy versus Kizaru, it's just like he got like one hit in. He hit him in the head once. He missed a bunch, and then he hit him in the head once. And that took him out for a bit. But like, it's hard to even tell nowadays because of weird power scaling stuff. It's just like, okay, did this one punch to the head that didn't even look like it had hockey in it, but it's like doing weird Gear 5 stuff in it. How hard did that actually hurt him? And we don't know. And he gets back up from it, but then he gets pizzaed away. And then Kizaru was just like, I just give up after this. Kizaru was just like, I did my job. I killed Vegapunk. I'm leaving. I'm not getting up. I'm not getting up anymore. You're gonna have to call your friends, Saturn, because I ain't getting back up. Never got reprimanded from Saturn because of that either. We don't know if Saturn... I don't think that Saturn... like, Saturn was sitting down and, like... already, before he died and stuff, so... we never even got, like, another, like, Saturn, like, walking up to me like, hey, what you doing? Wake up. Go after him. Your speed of light. Go get him again. I mean, yeah, it was obvious that it was supposed to be a good fight with Kizaru, because he'd already beaten Kaido by that point. So like there was an actual like, oh, will he or won't he thing on that. Well, I don't know. With Gear 5 is also a weird thing where it's just like, okay, you're actually invincible? Question mark, question mark. I don't know. I know, but that was, well, they did have Sea Stone at that point in time, but I don't know. I think that when we look back on the annals of history with One Piece, I think that the crocodile fight is going to be much more looked at than the Kizaru fight. I don't know. Kizaru fight's not fun. I'm not saying it's all bad, but see, that's the type of stuff that I don't care about. I don't care about. When it gets all onto that type of stuff, it's just like I don't care anymore. Was it entertaining? Did I get a good meal? You know, as the kids say. I don't know. Like, was there a fight in this chapter? No. No. Like, was there a fight in this chapter? Like a lot of people would say, yes, Harald versus Rocks. There was a fight. But I would say this is not a fight. This is a clash. This is a clash where two people go for a little bit. And in this instance, they look kind of equal. But in then other instances, you know, one wins over the other. But I would not consider this a fight. I don't even know. I don't even know about Naruto. I only read up to the retrieval arc. I got to like the bone guy. Well, I got to the dog boy fighting the two-headed guy. The guy had two heads, but then Dog Boy was like, I'm going to combine with my dog, and then I'm going to be a two-headed dog. And then after that, Naruto started fighting like a guy who like controls bones or something. And then that's where I stopped. I liked it. It was fine. I don't know. I never got to it. I don't even know about power scaling, and with Dragon Ball is all over the place too. But there's like, but Ultra Instinct is like a very interesting power though, too. That has a bunch of like things around it that are interesting. I don't know. And that's cool. I don't know. Jiren is flashy. Oh, yeah, no. I mean, that was... They were at least together at the same time. Goku and Frieza were at least fighting together when they beat Jiren. No one was fighting Kaido. I mean, whatever. I agree. I agree. I'm on the train of like, oh, I don't think that Kaido should have gone down after that. Anyways. I don't think Kaido should have tried to take that. At all. I think Kaido should have moved out of the way, but Kaido was like, oh, don't worry. I'm not going to move out of the way. I can take it. I can take it. I can take it. He did not. He could not take it. And then the fight ended, and I was like, oh, that's it? Oh, that's it? Yeah. Shut up, Nightbot, or whoever's doing that. You can't even clip. I think you can clip on YouTube. I don't even know. All right. This is by far my longest One Piece reaction. By far. By far. But it was a good chapter, so it deserves it. Is it better than last chapter? I think so. I think this is a better chapter than last chapter. Some people are like, no, but last chapter was the Rock's reveal, so it's a better chapter. And I'm like, reveals don't equal good chapters, but I guess for some people they do. It is very similar. That whole "I won't move" thing. That's a clown emoji after that. I remember reading that and being like, oh my gosh, really? This is how we're doing it. Of course, I got spoiled on TikTok that he defeated him like a day before it came out, and I was so mad. I remember One Piece spoilers were rampant on there. I'm not really I don't have One Piece TikToks anymore on my TikTok since I haven't been on TikTok in a while until recently. But luckily, I'm not getting that anymore. And I'm not on Twitter anymore, so I don't get spoiled. And I blocked Grand Line. That's what you got to do to avoid spoilers nowadays. They got to fucking block Grand Line because he'll just throw that. He's probably already got a thumbnail. He's probably already got a thumbnail of Emu and Rocks together, or him and Harald. I don't know. What would he be fucking? What would he fucking be? I don't know. I don't think he would have a thumbnail of fucking Ochoku. Oh yeah, he could have. You know, I mean, the raid should have failed. Maybe the raid should have actually failed, and we should have had a bit of a longer fight with Kaido, and maybe it should have. I would be fine if it was Luffy and his friends versus Kaido. I still would have been fulfilled. It doesn't have to be a 1v1. I don't mind the idea of Luffy and his friends versus the thing, because that's how it was in Impel Down, you know, where Luffy and his friends all had to work together to take out Oars and Moria. That was fine. I had fun. I don't care about the power scaling of that. If Luffy has help, I love teamwork. I love teamwork. That's why the best technical fight in Egghead is Luffy and the gang versus Mars, where they team rocket him. That's why, because they use teamwork. I love teamwork piece, baby. I like Big Mom fight because they use teamwork. I mean, did they beat Big Mom? I don't know. She fell. I don't know. We're not going to talk about Wano. I enjoy Act 3 more than other people do in most places. There wasn't too much. It was really just Kinemon. I think Kinemon was like the only like real grief I had. There are some things that people like gawk at with Act 3 that I'm like, okay, come on. This thing was obviously happening. That's just me. But that's just me. Current Luffy? I don't know. I think that Gear 5 was pretty darn strong. We just haven't... it's so aggravating because of the Top Man stuff. I think this Top Man stuff and like this whole... the whole point of Whole Cake and Wano was that Big Mom and Kaido are invincible and you can't even hurt them. So we got to figure out a way to hurt them. And by the end of the Wano, and like during the middle of it, Luffy finally figures out a way to hurt them. And then the next arc, you have more characters that you can't hurt. And he didn't try the thing that he tried last arc to hurt him. Or maybe he did. I don't know. People are like, oh no, Luffy was using Advanced Conqueror's Haki on Top Man, and that didn't work. Obviously, it'd be really stupid if if Luffy just wasn't using that, the thing that is very noticeably happening when people clash, but they don't actually touch, you know, that's like the whole like, oh, that's crazy. They're clashing, but they're not touching. And that's how we know that advanced armament is going on. But then that doesn't happen at all again. He just forgets to do it. He just forgets. Because he wants to show that happening, I guess, in Elbaf. I don't know. I think the amount of hockey we got is fine. I don't know. I don't know. I'm fine. I mean, it would have been good if Big Mom and Luffy had an actual real fight, because they technically didn't, but I don't know. I like the unexpectedness of One Piece. That's one of my favorite things about One Piece, is that it doesn't always give you what you want, and sometimes Oda has different plans. Sometimes he does things that you just can't predict. No, he's always different because he's literally made of light. Kaido is like, oh, I can't get hurt because, like, I'm just built different like that. It's just like my body is like that. And Big Mom, same with Big Mom. It's just like she literally can't get hurt unless, like, she's in distress. And then it took, like, this weird, like, awakening Kroom thing from Law to, like, actually, like, hurt her, you know? Which was, like, a big deal. People forget how big of a deal Kroom is, you know? I don't know. I don't think Kaido ever got hurt. I think Kaido just got tired. I think that... well, that's an opinion. That Kaido never actually got hurt on the rooftop. He just got tired. He exerted him. When he exerted himself too much. And that's what tired him out, was just himself. It wasn't him getting, like, punched. It wasn't like the punches he was taking, he was receiving. It was just that all the attacks that he was giving out to people tuckered him out. And that's why he was tired by the end of the fight. Not because he was taking damage, but because he was just getting tired from swinging himself. That's my new headcanon. That's my new headcanon. I guess. I mean, some people you say he was, some people say he wasn't, but you'd have to focus. Well, why didn't he do that? He could have just done that. Because that's cool. It's cool when he does that, and he just didn't do it. He didn't say, hey, this ain't working. When I read Rockham, maybe I should try the other thing. He didn't really do any funky stuff to them, to any of the Gorosei. Maybe he wasn't able to. Well, I mean, he obviously pizzaed Saturn, but after that, all Luffy did... Did Luffy ever even hurt any of the others? No, because he never hurt Top Man. I have a whole fucking video about this that I'm putting out, but now I'm thinking about Luffy's feats at the end of Egghead, is that he baseball batted the exploding venom things back at Saturn, which didn't hurt him, but I guess tuckered him out. He punched. He threw a building into Jupiter's mouth, which I don't think hurt him, but, you know, knocked him out. I guess that's the most cartoony thing he did, like, affecting another person. Then he punched Top Man a couple times, didn't do anything. He punched Jupiter on the way out when he was trying to get on the boat, but that didn't do much. And then he had his big liberation punch thing with Bonnie at the end with Saturn. And that made him like, you know, that put holes in him. So that's all he did in the climax of like, you can literally, can you count on your hands? Like baseball, building, 2 top man punches, another Jupiter punch, and then liberation punch. 6. He did a 6 whole attacks. How many arcs in One Piece can you say that in the final climax Luffy did 6 attacks? Probably not a lot. I don't know. Maybe I have to go reread Punk Hazard, but I feel like he still got a bit done against Caesar and Punk Hazard. He was still doing stuff to that. I need to reread that fight, technically. I need to reread Punk Hazard. I feel like Punk Hazard's underrated. I need to get back on that. That's the one that I remember the least of the fights. But I'm all tired. I'm tired of talking. And I want to do other things today besides yap about One Piece. But I'm not yelling at you, Sleepy Bean. But I think that the way that you and me, we look at One Piece is very different, obviously. So the things that we care about seem to be different. But you know what? People like One Piece for different reasons. And some people aren't cool with that, but I am, you know? People gotta learn that. People gotta learn that the reasons that people enjoy One Piece are reasons that might not all be the same, you know? And I have another video about that I have written up in my noggin that I might make eventually. But first, I gotta make this other video first. And then all the other videos I gotta make too that aren't One Piece related. So that means I'll never make it, or I won't make it for a good while. But I'm tired of talking. I'm hungry. Tomorrow's my birthday. So I need to get ready for birthday stuff. So I'll see you later. I do declare. Break next week, obviously. I probably won't get the video out in time. Maybe. We'll actually see. We'll actually see if I can get the video out before the next chapter releases. Which that would be great if I could, but I'm not promising that. Not promising anything on this video because it's gonna be I'm putting effort in. I'm putting work into the editing, so it's gonna take a little bit. But besides that, I'll see y'all later. Goodbye. 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 Once I find the end button. Take a little bit. But besides that, I'll see y'all later. Goodbye. 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 Once I find the end button.